and I could not even speak. My voice was so shaky, and I was like, if this happens, like if it pops back, he's gonna see my dick. I'm gonna make a prediction right now that this video will 100% be unmonetized or demonetized, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like the best videos and stories to tell on YouTube are the kinds of videos that will get demonetized. Let me get my iced coffee first, and then I will explain everything that happened.
Your cooler?
Thank you. So I don't have a filmer right now, so I'm gonna try my best to film this selfie style, but you guys seen the title of this video. I got pulled over while receiving roadhead. It's one of those stories that you can tell that's super hilarious to look back on, but when I was in the current situation, I remember I was never more scared in my entire life. So we were driving on the highway, and this was like a 20-minute adventure. It was a 20-minute adventure, and the first sign that I should have stopped was when we were on the highway and the music was so loud and she bumped it into neutral. And I didn't even notice, but we were trying to go up this hill and we weren't moving anywhere, so I turned down the music and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I looked and it was in neutral and I was like, oh shit, okay. This is the exit off the highway, and we were driving down here and there was a car directly behind us. And as you can notice, there's a stop sign right there, and I did not want the car behind us to know what was going on. So I came up to this stop sign and I completely ran the stop sign. I just looked quickly this way and noticed that there was no cars coming, so I just quickly took a right, and I did not notice that there was a cop sitting right up there. So I got pulled over while this was happening. So I ran the stop sign and I started driving up that road, and I was instantly pulled over by the police. And I did not even have enough time to react to the whole situation. And back in 2014, I remember this day specifically. It was June 6th, and the only reason I remember that is because the very next day is when we had our house fire. So it was like, I kind of felt like my life was turning into like a Final Destination movie or something like that. Back in 2014 was when this happened. I used to wear jeans that were a little bit more on the skinny side, so my pants were past my knees, and the cop immediately got out of his car and started walking towards us, and I could not pull my pants back up. I could not do it, and I didn't want to make it seem like I was doing something suspicious, so I was like trying to do it like as subtle as possible. I wasn't like, you know, like trying to pull my pants up like this. I was just like trying to pull them up. I was like, ugh. So I quickly realized that I could not pull my pants back up. And my first initial reaction to get myself out of this situation was to do this. I took my shirt and tucked it over my knees like that. And the cop came right here and was talking to me. And this looks a little bit ridiculous. I don't know if you can tell, but it was literally the only thing I could think of, because if I did not do that, if I did not do this right now, just wrapped around my knees fully, he would have seen everything, and then he would have been like, dude, why is your dick out? So I'm literally sitting there like this as he's talking to me. I was traumatized and I could not even speak. My voice was so shaky, and I was like, if this happens, like if it pops back, he's gonna see my dick. And the girl I was with was sitting right there, and she wasn't really stressing because her pants weren't fucking down, but mine were. So she actually had to grab like all my registration and stuff like that, because I was so scared of making any sudden movements because my shirt could have popped up and then boom, Boner City. So I just kept this conversation going with the cop, and he ended up taking my information and walking back to his car. And I was literally like tripping. I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Like, what if he asks me to get out of the car and I'm just naked? Like, what can you say? What can be a valid excuse for that? Like, oh, sorry sir, I was a little bit sweaty, I had to take my clothes off. So he comes back, my shirt still wrapped around my knees, and then he looks at me and he says, all right, today is your lucky day. I forgot my ticket book. just be more careful and aware when you're driving. And I was like, yes, sir, I am so sorry. I just wanted to get home and, you know, cook a pizza, pull my fucking pants back up. So he just told me to enjoy the rest of my day. He walked back to his car. I waited for him to drive off. Then I was able to pull my pants back up. And I remember I was just driving and I was like, can you fucking believe what just happened? And how I just got myself out of that situation. Like, I was shook. And she looks at me and she's like, do you want to keep going? I was like, no, like, what the? There is no way I am ever doing that again. Never, ever, ever. Like, I was truly traumatized. And like I said, it was one of those stories that is unbelievably hilarious to tell and look back on. But in the moment, it wasn't so funny. That was my experience of getting pulled over while getting roadhead. Good times. I can assure you that will never, ever, ever happen again. Well, it might.
My dick cost a late night fee. Yo dick got the HIV. My dick plays on the double feature screen. Yo dick went straight to DVD. My dick bigger than a bridge.